Well, listening to that is Tony Stein, the CEO of Healthcare Management Solutions. They run 7 care homes for Silver Lake Care here in Sussex. A very good morning to you, Tony. Honestly, it's really hard, isn't it, I think, not to despair a little bit at the moment with this whole cost of living crisis, because there are certain areas where you can cut your cloth accordingly, but if you're running a care home, you just can't. Can you switch the heating off?
No, good morning, Alison. It's really tragic. It's really difficult at the moment for care home operators to run homes, and to manage them with the staffing shortages that everybody's experiencing. And now this year, to add to the woes, energy price increases have hammered operators. So in our homes around your area, we run Patcham in Brighton for Wren. We run a number of Silver Lake homes and a Larchwood home down in Brighton. And all of these services now are facing some ridiculous increases in energy costs. And so, for example, if we recently had to renew the energy costs at Silver Lake, we went to off-contract rates while we were negotiating a new contract. The off-contract rates were 1,400% of our existing cost.
That's just
The
crazy.
final sort of increases that we managed to achieve, and these were the best prices we could get, was a 537% increase in electricity and a 900% increase in gas.
I mean, it's
So,
just
these
bonkers.
are ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and,
But
and
what
so
do you do? Do you have to pass those increased costs on to your residents?
Well, this is the crazy thing, isn't it? That if you're a provider to the private market, so if you've got residents who effectively self-fund in the care homes, you can put your fees up, and that sadly is a cost that we have to pass on. If you're providing services to the local authority or the NHS, then the NHS and local authorities set the fees. So, and they're all cash strapped at the moment, so not able to give us the fee increases. So, we're asking for increases in funding, and what the local authorities are generally saying is we have no money until the government provide us with some. And so effectively, that, if you like, that hit to the bottom line is taken by the operators. And just to go back to the example I quoted you, if your gas bill for the year has gone from 49,000 to 487,000, and your electricity bill has gone from 300,000 to 1.9 million, that is a very, very big pill to swallow. And for a lot of operators, as has been said, this will be the end. They will not be able to continue to fund, to continue to operate. And so residents will sadly lose their homes. And that's a tragedy beyond proportion. Now, the government has stepped in and said we'll cap costs. But what they've said is that they'll cap costs till next March. Well, that's interesting. But if you're trying to plan your business and forecast forward, you need to have certainty beyond the next 4 or 5 months.
And the thing is, you're right. I mean, if care homes have to close, yes, it is a tragedy. It's a crisis, isn't it? Because what happens to those residents? Where will they go?
Well, it's a double whammy if you think about it, because one of the biggest issues facing the country at the moment is an unprecedented waiting list for NHS treatment. And the reason why a lot of people can't get into the NHS for treatment is because they're absolutely rammed with people at the moment who should be being discharged into care homes, either to rehabilitate prior to going home or as a permanent move. And if we lose the capacity in the care home sector, then that problem in the NHS will never get fixed. So the government, I'm sure, will intervene. That's if we ever have a stable enough government for more than a couple of weeks to deal with the issue. But we need some certainty, and we need it very quickly. And I would say to Steve Barclay, right at the very, very top of your list of problems to deal with is this issue of how care is funded in this country.
Absolutely. Tony, thank you for that. Tony Stein, CEO of Healthcare Management Solutions. They run 7 care homes for Silver Lake Care here in Sussex.